Hello everybody, welcome to the ITK Soccer Show on the 15th of September, and the ladies England team are 4-0 ahead in the World Cup qualifier against Estonia. Thoughts on the game so far?
Number 3 is a lovely bottom.
And this is why people don't think you're the number one pundit, because you say things like that.
I wasn't finished.
Good.
They all have lovely bottoms.
Exactly.
All right, thanks everybody for listening, and those of you who've turned off already, I can't blame you. We have to talk about transfer deadline day. We didn't do a show in a week. Welcome back, John.
Nice.
So the last 2 weeks, John wasn't here, and then the week before that, he was late. That's really bad, isn't it?
He did text
That's
us,
shocking.
though. Do you remember the message we got?
I'm late.
Lads, we're late, he said. Come on. Giving you pearls, Charlie. John's back. The last show me and Dan did was 2 weeks ago, 2 days before transfer deadline day, and we haven't listened back to the last show because, you know, unlike you people, we have sense. So we realised
Was
that...
it a good show, was it? You guys were there.
I thought it went okay.
You're the one who listens, so you didn't.
I was on holiday.
That was a perfect time, lying by the sun.
On the airplane. Way back.
No Wi-Fi.
You download the show.
From what? You can't download from SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah. We should fix that.
Yeah.
John, you're supposed to be on this iTunes thing.
I am supposed to be on that.
He's been on this we're in series 3, it's season 1.
I have like a Windows 98 laptop. Like, it takes me a good 4 days to load the thing up. And
Windows 98.
He's working on the logo.
Have you still got
though.
Mr. Chip as the game? Remember Mr. Chips?
I'm more of a pinball man myself. But,
That was XP. That was Windows XP.
It was, actually.
I don't... You beat me here. It was a joke. You ruined it.
He barely has solitaire on that computer.
That's true.
Dan and I were arguing about if we knew 2 days before the transfer window about the Jack Wilshere to Bournemouth.
No, I remember I mentioned him. I'm pretty sure we mentioned him.
He was like teasing Palace at the time. Palace and Roma.
It was Wonder Thudder. Oh, yeah, Roma.
But
Yeah.
he
We'll talk about
didn't
them
want
later.
to work with Pardiola or Totti, apparently.
We'll talk about him later. Dedicate the whole show to him. We have to.
Special.
Let's just talk about him now. Listen, what's going on here? The man has scored 8 goals in his last 10 appearances. He has won them 6 games. He has scored 8 goals of his last 10 on target. He has created 2 assists and scored winning penalties in 5 of those games. He's 40 years old. There's already talk 3 games into the Italian season that they're going to give him another extension.
They should.
The manager said he's never seen a 35-year-old train harder than him. He's half a decade over the 35. This is like...
What?
Toddy's half a decade older than 35. He's 40.
He's 40.
So
Yes.
the manager's saying he's never even seen a
Could've just said 40.
never seen a 35-year-old train even harder. So Todd, that's how exceptional he is. Did you see the shirt when he took it off for the celebration? He's ripped. Listen, lads,
He's still a footballer.
he's just this is unbelievable what's happening here. He
These
needs to go down as the greatest hometown player in the history of
These
professional
stats,
soccer.
like, you know the way how they used to call like Steven Gerrard like the Roy of the Rovers, like,
Yes,
and like, but it was better because his moments were rare. Toddy's just doing it so often now. It's like,
he's more consistent than he was 5 years ago.
Well, like the thing
was
is
he doing
about it,
5
like,
years ago?
what he seems to be doing every time he's scoring all these, making these impacts. Generally, Roma are like 1 or 2-1 down or 2-0 down at half time. He comes on and changes the game. Or I think I mentioned to you, like, this was off camera there last week. The only time I've ever
Camera?
actually really
I think all our conversations are off camera.
ever seen a player lift the whole stadium, but Totti seems to be doing it pretty much every week when he comes on, was when Messi came on in the Champions League second round quarter final against PSG like 5 years ago, and he came on, he was injured, he had one leg and changed the game, and PSG were terrible. But Totti's doing this week in, week out when he's 40.
And you're telling me he's not on the gas. How can a man regrow a leg if they don't give him some sort of leg up?
Do you think
just
now-
magic sponge?
Very good.
Not to say anything negative about Italian football before I say something negative about Italian football. They're getting a lot of penalties. Will there be a few, maybe Totti's hitting into his old retirement fund to just make sure I go out with a...
I thought you were going to talk about the quality of the league, and I was going to be like, that's a really fair point.
There is no quality in that league.
Lamella.
Joe Hart got more passing than he had in his entire Man City career in his Torino game.
He also caused
But
Yeah,
he also
also-
made the same amount of mistakes he always makes in the game.
Oh, that's
Well, that's
he
one
makes a lot
transfer
of
that
mistakes.
definitely went through the last show we did. But the other ones that were deadline day, David Luiz back to Chelsea for 30 million. That's
That
a
is
20 million
the
profit
most-
to send him away for
So
a while.
they bought him for 30 million and gave Benfica Matic. Sold Luiz, bought Matic back. Then they bought Luiz back. They love buying and selling players, don't they? Like back and forth over the 2 years. Like,
Yep.
who are they going to buy in it back now next?
De Bruyne. No.
I'd say they'll buy Lukaku.
What was that fast German? Marco Marin.
Marin.
Look at him.
Herman the German.
Van Ginkel.
Wasn't it like they brought Cuadrado back and then like
He's on a 3-year loan to
and
Juventus.
people were like, "Oh, he'll be a big player under Conte." Like
Conte even said.
"Yeah, straight to loans."
Straight.
It's a 3-year loan. Has anyone ever seen a 3-year loan?
No.
It's so weird.
Why can't Juve just buy him?
'Cause I think Chelsea's the one about the club.
Because they waste all their money on Higuain, whose scoring record so far has been incredible.
He's very fat.
I didn't really.
He's really fast.
He's very fat.
His scoring record's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's a crazy
He
record.
scored a
but-
great goal there the other day.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose like if he's eating the Big Macs and he's still scoring goals, do they care?
Anything else on Italian football while we're here?
No.
Can I talk
Moose's-
about Dutch football and the Teddies?
Can we say that to the awards? Because that was wonderful.
It was quite nice.
And I don't know who to give Hero of the Week to. There's so many good stuff going on. Obviously, Totti.
Yeah, you're giving it to Todd.
No, but see, there's the. No, we'll get to it. Okay, so Sissoko, 30 million to Spurs. He was heavily linked with Everton.
Poor Everton.
Then Spurs, then Everton, and then he went to Spurs and took down the video of him saying that he's an Arsenal fan. So.
he said it was his dream to play for Arsenal. He
and
said it like
Real
over
Madrid. And I feel sort of bad for Everton though, because what happened was they got bought this summer, and everyone thought that Everton had loads of money. Like was the talk, even though the owner like isn't that well off. But they tried to get Mata, they tried to get Sissoko, they tried to get like 3 other players. And Fitzel, and everyone just kind of went, no, I want to see what this Everton team's about. They're actually doing all right.
They're doing great.
They're a good manager.
They certainly do.
Yeah, but they're a mess of a club.
But Sissoko will really probably only play in Champions League games, I presume.
Well, he didn't play the other night. He didn't start the other
He
night.
actually didn't, did he? Well, we'll get to that and the Pochettino rare mistake in that selection, where it was just basically loads of attackers and Dyer. Jack Wilshere to Bournemouth, can he make an impact there?
If he stays fit, that's a brilliant signing.
I did. No.
John hates him, but like
I don't hate him. I think
if for that level,
I
he's
think
very
10 years
very
ago
good.
or however old he's been, he was like, oh, he's the only English player to come through Arsene Wenger's youth academy when Arsene Wenger was famous for bringing in good young players, and he hasn't done that in a very long time.
I think he was the first English player.
That's what I said.
He hasn't had a good game since Diaby was in the team. Playing.
Diaby.
He used to score like
Diaby's a great man.
He got goal of the season a few years ago when
He got twice in 2 years.
yeah, when Arsenal fans used to like, this is a famous thing that if an Arsenal player is able to be voted for to get goal of the season, they'll win because Arsenal fans just go mad online.
Yeah.
But it was a nice goal, but he's been absolutely useless. The only thing I know about Jack Wilshere is whenever Arsenal are losing a big game, he'll be the one running around like a headless chicken, not doing anything, but the fans think he's doing something by just making silly slide tackles and yelling at people.
And all he wants to do is have a fag with Chesney in the showers.
Him,
Well,
and,
like,
him and Jamie Vardy with Blue Wicked and
For the really die-hard fans out here listening to the show, I remember, was it
how you
last?
stay.
It was either first year or second year of the show. Probably the first year. I mentioned Wilshere and Bale, how like they're pretty much similar age, and how they're both kind of like 2 years ago Bale just got his move to Madrid, and Wilshere then was like getting in fights outside Coppers or something or whatever he was doing. Like it's still the same. He still hasn't matured, and it's like if you looked at him when about 18 years old, everyone thought Wilshere would have been a better player than Bale, but Bale's just worked harder. So Wilshere's still the same, but look, he's a great buy for Bournemouth for a loan deal for a year. That's a really good signing.
Be here to sit on the bench, mate, to be honest. Probably. Or
He's nowhere near the Arsenal team. Like there's
He was injured.
those long list of midfielders way ahead of him. He's probably bottom of the pile.
Somani with Leicester's transfer fee record of 29 million.
Salami.
What did I say?
No, it's just nice.
Somani.
Salami transfer million roster record.
Yeah, sorry, I got really distracted. I made your voice sound really funny during your last little monologue there, and I didn't know I could do that. Only for a second. Only for a second. I'll do it to him too.
Don't do that.
I'll do it when he's telling his funny story of the week, or his favourite funny video, which I know what it is.
Do you?
No, maybe. We'll see.
Do you have a
Anyway,
favourite funny video of the week?
Somani.
It's class. He's very good.
Yeah, he's
He's
pretty
very
good.
good. Very good at the World Cup 2 years ago. But
That's right.
Leicester were dreadful against Liverpool. That's all I really know about how they're doing. They won yesterday in the Champions League. I know I'm jumping all over the running order here.
You are.
But,
I've lost it.
I think they're in a bit of trouble.
that's a spoof of the week.
Yeah. Claudio Ranieri, and I'm done. Mic drop. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to the Italian League Soccer Show. Mangala, whose win record with Man City is incredible and no one recognises that, has been loaned to Valencia because Pep is knows what he wants, and he wants what he wants, and
No, he's terrible.
He's
as
happy
well.
to pay somebody 230 grand a week to sit on the bench, but or not even on the bench. Is Toure on the bench these days? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not even on the bench.
Okay,
no.
200. Imagine earning 230 grand to just show up to training 3 times a week.
Well, he got rid of Nasri. Nasri went to Seville.
We didn't get
He couldn't get rid
big
of
man.
yeah.
Anyway,
He
Mangala
was more than happy. He's probably eating his birthday cake that he never got 2 years ago.
Mangala on a loan to
It's
Valencia.
mouldy at this rate.
Yeah, well, it could have been the freezer.
Do Valencia need him?
Well, they got rid of your man to Arsenal, Mustafi.
Oh yeah.
So I suppose for a free loan for the year, could be worse. I suppose, isn't it? But
Superior
Do
defender.
you think
So
there's like
absolutely.
a thing in the Premier League that like?
what's this love of fucking Mangali have? I don't
Look
know.
at his stats, as my
No, I
love.
just mean like
Well, just look at him play, man.
I did, yeah.
like anytime
Terrible.
anytime
He had
someone
a
pays
mistake in him.
anytime someone pays money for a centre back, like I can't even remember. Like maybe I think Vidic was the last successful one that people seem to like. They like Mangala, Otamendi.
Well, Vidic was
Like-
only bought for like 10 million.
Well, yeah,
It
but
was
like
low
everything's
amounts.
mad. Like even like David Luiz when he was a lot of money. Like anytime there's like a foreign defender, I feel like the English press go absolutely like and destroy him to such a level now that like Arsenal were looking at Johnny Evans and West Brom wanted 25 million.
well,
That's what a good British centre back will get.
Well,
you
Johnny
know.
Evans is shocking, but like,
Well, 25 million worth of shocking.
well, he is.
Look at this. Look at this. Sorry, England are just running amok here.
Well, like Mustafi and Koscielny have the good grounding of a good centre pack partnership for a year. That is a good partnership.
If Mustafi plays over like
Do you say centre pack partnership?
25 Premier
Probably.
League games this year,
This show isn't very good, guys.
I like it. Centre pack partnership. Okay, Premier League. Man United started off their excellent week with a loss at home, the derby to City. The first half was just everything that you want to see out of a Pep team, and to see it 4 weeks into the league is kind of surprising to me, but they were incredible. Pogba was completely absent, playing as a winger half the time instead of sitting by Fellaini. An amazing bit of skill from De Bruyne that wasn't Blind's fault, but I'll get to that in a minute. And then Iheanacho scoring a goal that it just you can't believe wasn't offside, but it was. And then Ibrahimovic, after Bravo made a mistake, got one back for United on the 42nd minute. The second half, City looked like they were really missing Aguero, who was suspended. They took Iheanacho off for Fernando, and all they really had was the most tired man in the world, Kevin De Bruyne, against the second most tired man in the world, Bally, in these weird battles. De Bruyne did hit the post, though, towards the end of the game, and Man United were shite.
I thought like this match was like incredible. Kevin De Bruyne was like amazing, like literally the best player in the league. I thought it looked like when the City got that second goal. Well, just on the first goal, I think it was both defenders' fault. I think Bailey sort of left Iheanacho
It
run
was
forward.
more Bailey's fault than Blind for the first goal.
But I think
Absolutely.
Bailey read it and thought he couldn't get the ball, so Iheanacho jumped up ahead of him, and then De Bruyne's touch was great, but I'd still would blame Blind for being flat-footed. But anyway, when City got that second goal, amazing skill again by De Bruyne, and it was actually madness. This De Bruyne shot that came off the post, it literally like rolled on the feet of United defenders, and none of them put their foot on it. But it honestly, I turned around, I was watching it with a United fan, I was like, the way City are playing here, this could be like 6. Like they were so good, and United weren't in the game at all. And
2-1 is not the result, really. It's not indicative of the game.
I thought Silva was just something else.
he was, and then
Like him and like the thing with, like last year, De Bruyne missed a lot of football, and Silva was kind of put it in the wing and everything. Now, like with Yaya gone, it really frees up another spot in midfield, I think, and that De Bruyne can kind of really grow into. So now you've got Silva; he's got someone to play with in midfield now.
I kind of used
like
to.
you've got Aguero to come back,
Yeah.
for the league. Gundogan started the other night in the Champions League. Company has to come back at the back.
Well, Gundogan did very well.
Like they have to. They've got players to come in, and Sané looks actually useful enough from the bench anyway.
I think he needs to get it. Like I don't think he's match fit yet.
But
Here's someone who an unsung hero. Always first to give the old goal scorer a hug. Nolito.
Give it. Oh yeah, he's very good.
Is he good?
He is.
No one's talking about him. I think he's been a very interesting signing.
13 million. He's great.
Fucking unbelievable.
He spent a lot of money, City.
Tell you what David Silva reminds me of. I was originally going to say Iniesta, but he doesn't beat players in the same way Iniesta can. He's like Xavi with a little bit more pace.
Yeah, but he was
Low centre of
like
gravity.
I like this kind of more secluded kind of central midfield where you can run a game, because you got to get your best players on the ball. And if you got someone you can play with, Silva can play with De Bruyne, and it's not like he's just looking around and he's got Fernando.
Well,
to
De
pass
Bruyne's
to.
in the Rakitic/Iniesta top of the midfield role, and it's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's working really well. Like Pep's ideas, like think about Pep, they've actually improved every game.
It's scary.
Which is it's a sign of a lot of good things going on in the training ground and players listening to him, because the one criticism I've had about City is that don't listen to managers, they don't give a shit. But he seems to have gotten rid of those bad eggs. Like Sterling is playing a little bit better now as well. I've been a big critic of him, but he's playing much better. Actually, I think defensively they've been fine, to be honest. I know Bravo had a bit of a mad match, but
Which Pep said was
not according to Pep.
Pep said greatest performance he'd seen.
the one thing I'd say, Pep wants his goalkeepers to have more touches with the ball of his feet.
Yeah, but that's nonsense.
No,
you know
no,
we're closing
I'm
down.
not saying it's not. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that's where he's looking at that. That's where I can see where he's coming from. But look, Bravo's a good keeper. It'll be fine. It was a baptism of fire to start at Old Trafford in your first game.
He did give away a goal. He assisted.
could have got sent
He
off,
assisted the
whatever.
goal and should have got
John
sent off.
Stones had to clear the ball off the line in the last minute. It was a match that United shouldn't have been anywhere close to getting a result from, and they almost did a number of times.
Can I just say one thing? My friend Pogba and Fellaini in midfield, I said they will not work as a midfield two all season.
Well, I thought
And
Fellaini
they
was
were
great.
they were absolutely torn apart. Pair of them. Pogba for 100 million. De Bruyne was half the price. You got people like Modric a couple of years ago was bought for 30 odd million. These guys are proper midfielders. This guy, he's just box to box. He's big and strong.
He's not box to box.
He's tactically not good enough.
He's not box to box. He
He's
needs,
tactically
he needs
not good
two,
enough. I
two
mentioned at the start of the
midfields.
year, he's not good enough.
He needs two midfielders behind him.
So drop Rooney and
But
put him at
this
number
is the
10 and let
big-
him go.
this is the big
That's
thing.
what they should do, but he can't play number 2, especially with someone like Fellaini in there.
But is he going
They're
to?
not mobile enough. Or
Is
know what they're
Mourinho
doing.
going to have the balls to drop Rooney and put him in the
But he
hole?
should. He should have.
That's the story sort of going on now. Is like we
But
don't
he's
have
gonna put
old
him on the right
Mourinho
wing.
because Mourinho said that he should have taken Lingard and Mkhitaryan off after 25 minutes.
Well, you should have taken Mkhitaryan off the worst game of football he's ever had.
Lingard just.
And he injured
Lingard's
himself.
not great though.
Mkhitaryan injured himself and he's out for 3 weeks now.
It was strange Mourinho starting Lingard and Mkhitaryan even though he hadn't done it in any of his games previous. Unless he I didn't see the whole
Why
game
didn't start
now.
Martial? I would have taken a punt on Mkhitaryan, but
Yeah.
Martial.
No,
would
but
have
it's just like you'd got to drop him and put Pogba. Like he bought 100 million worth of Pogba. Well, we're around that. So what do? He's your most prized asset. What do? You put him in his best position. You don't from what I saw him in the Euros. Really looking at him, except part of the Irish game where they were all over us. He was kind of passing the ball, because he had so much time in midfield. He was against 10 men for half an hour, but he's not that player. He can't dictate from there. He has to learn the game. I don't think tactically he's good enough. I don't know. There's a lot for him to work on. And in the best place is put him as an attacking midfielder. And I'd probably actually play Schneidel and Fellaini behind. Maybe Herrera because he'd
Schneiderlin
probably be
and
their
Herrera.
best pass of the ball in midfield.
Having said that, let's just jump ahead. Schneiderlin and Herrera played as the defensive and central midfielders,
Can I say one
and
more
Pogba
thing,
played in the
sorry?
hole last night.
I just want to say one more thing. When Pep brought on Tuchel and Nacho for Fernando, was it?
Yeah.
I honestly turn and I go, I think he's going to regret that because United were really coming into the game, and I
I
thought
thought it was a good move.
no, I thought City would have no outball, and I thought they'd be stuck. But it was incredible, absolutely killed the game. So
No,
Pep
Pep is a genius. He is, and I
coming
know
around,
John,
John?
you're not keen on him, but
not that I'm not keen on. I just think he had in his 2 managerial jobs, he's had 2 of the best teams football's ever seen ever. So
It's very true.
This City
Yes,
team
he's
is
always inherited
This City team is the biggest challenge.
but he
Incredible.
didn't inherit the Barcelona team. Was a Messi inherited. to be fair.
It had Messi
But
coming into his prime.
the players he did have at his disposal, and he did have a great
Oh,
budget.
look, I know. Look, it wasn't as easy as taking on Barcelona. But the thing, he didn't have the full backs tucked in as well, which was weird. So I think he actually surprised Mourinho, and Mourinho's only beaten him in 1 league match.
Yes.
Still since, and that was the very very end of Pep's run at Barca manager. So he's only beaten him once in the league and once in a cup final, and then once with that Inter Milan team.
I'm starting to
So
regret my
he's
decision.
he's lost a lot of games against
Yeah.
Pep.
I'm starting to regret my decision about picking United to win the league.
Well, we all did that, so
I'm pretty sure it's going to be City. Okay.
That's still very early. People are talking
it's very,
about
very.
being-
You can't talk about that yet. But
here's the thing, though. I don't see City getting worse.
well, what happens if Aguero gets injured? I know Iheanacho scored again the other night, but what happens if he gets injured? I think if Man United, for example, if they lost players, I think they'd be okay. There's a lot. I don't know. There's so much football left. You don't judge that after 1 game, but City
I'm
have
not
been
after
very
one game.
good
I'm judging
thus
it
far.
after all of City's games, including last night.
If Aguero can stay fit, it's huge.
Arsenal broke the Southampton curse at the Emirates. Konchesky,
Who?
Koscielny, sorry, Jesus Christ. Koscielny scored an overhead kick after a Peter Cech own goal. Jesus Christ. And then Cazorla converted a penalty with the last kick of the game.
If Southampton, like, I know they bought a striker, but if Southampton keep playing Shane Long up front,
He's having a nightmare, isn't he?
they're going to get relegated. He was awful.
What's wrong with him lately?
Like, in fairness, the Arsenal shouldn't have got the winner because he was fouled in the corner by Monreal when they got. But it was just absolutely like outrageous.
I actually
how
thought
bad
the
he
penalty
is.
shouldn't have stood for another reason. Because
Uh,
Koscielny was lying out flat, unconscious. He had a concussion.
yeah, but
Koscielny, and the ref played on another like 2 minutes, and Giroud then was fouled,
Yeah.
and they brought it back. So the ref should have actually stopped the match. By the way, bring it back to the Man City match. Clattenburg was ref, and Mike Dean was the first assistant. I was very, very happy with that.
Why?
Because Mike Dean,
Because you love Mike Dean.
he's great.
Do you not love Clanberg?
Oh yeah, the Clattenburg of the tongue.
Clanberg's my favourite ref.
Mike Dean's the best. He's the most hilarious ref.
He loves a card.
I like Clattenburg's tattoos, but that's not that important.
Clattenburg's a racist, according to John Obi Mikel.
Well, that was dropped very quickly.
Mikel John Obi. No, not anymore. Officially, John Obi Mikel. All right. Anything else about that one, though? Sunderland and Arsenal.
Southampton.
Southampton. Listen.
Koscielny's
listen.
goal was nice. One of the
Arsenal weren't papered over the cracks, but first win at home for them this season. It's a good 3 points because they always struggle against Southampton home and away.
Got out of jail as well against
They
PSG.
didn't play well.
Bournemouth and West Brom 1-0 Bournemouth. Callum Wilson with the goal in 79 minutes.
Side out. Do you ever watch West Brom matches?
No.
If you watch West Brom matches, because
Do you ever watch West Brom matches? I try not to.
No, yeah, exactly. It's just the listeners again will be like, "Doesn't your man Neil even watch football?" But yeah, if you watch West Brom matches, the fans are so quiet that all you can hear is Tony Pulis shouting for 90 minutes at Berahino.
Is he wearing his hat?
Yeah, so all you hear is side-o, and that's basically.
That's just the one player. What is he still doing there? He doesn't get his game. He doesn't want to be there, and they don't want him there, and they reject 25 million every single window from Spurs.
Do you remember Berahino was good?
Yeah, that
For like 4 months.
those 6
Pretty
months
much,
ago.
yeah.
Bournemouth, I think, will struggle to score goals this year. Jordan Ibe just runs into headless chicken type
Bournemouth
category.
will stay up.
No, there's a lot worse teams. Tony Pulis is.
We're getting to them.
Tony Pulis is favourite to get sacked. He's.
Well, West Brom officially took over today, so
Yeah.
I think he wanted that to go through. So now he might have a bit of money to spend in January.
Yeah, I suppose.
Burnley against Hull City. Stephen Defour scored on the 72nd minute. Very good goal. I saw it the other day.
It's a nice.
Very good.
Man, think of Neil watching football.
I used to like
Proud of you.
Defour a lot before Belgium became a hipster team. I used to tell Dan how great he was. And Snodgrass
And I was telling you how good he was since 2009.
was a free kick for Snodgrass.
It was. Another one, yeah.
He's pretty good at them.
He's very good.
Both these teams are probably going down, and a draw doesn't help either.
Hull City
Really.
are going to win
Well,
the Premier
Hull are-
League this year
Hull are
with
sixth or
13
something.
players, and I'm going to give up on football forever.
Hull did well.
You know, it's still a possibility that Mike Phelan will leave as first manager, so I'll get that in the bag.
Is there?
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get the job. So
Did you?
what kind of a clearance is that?
Well,
My God.
There's a story Barry Glendinning from The Guardian told it on Football Weekly, but I'll say it here anyway. The reason why Mike Phelan isn't getting the job at Hull City is because apparently he's a bit of an idiot, and this is no more true that he to the day of the England game where Lallana scored Sam Allardyce's first game, a TalkSport producer got a text from Mike Phelan
yes.
saying, "All right, Sam, try to enjoy it if you can," and the producer was like, what's he talking about? And then they realised that Mr. Phelan thought that the producer was in fact that he was texting Sam Allardyce. So TalkSport asked the listeners to ring up
For a retort?
ring up with ideas for retorts, and a few of them were like, "I'm thinking of throwing the Scotland game. What do you think, Mike?" And I'll have to drop Waza. How do I tell him? Any help you can give me here? And I don't.
What's that?
Yeah, what's
All right, moving on. Crystal Palace
That's such a
and
What's going on?
sorry, what are you looking at? Oh, it's a pen
The
in
women's
the women's game.
match.
Middlesbrough versus Crystal Palace. Hugo Benteke starting his account in the Premier League this year, where he'll maybe get 11 goals again. Yeah, you forget about that, 11. At the 18-minute mark.
They gave a yellow card for that. My God.
Dan, you should probably explain what just happened, because
Well, obviously the woman's a ref, so
the woman's a ref, not the ref's a woman, but the woman's a ref.
yeah, she's a ref. Yeah.
All right.
She doesn't understand the rules.
oh, I
Those
argued
male
38
refs don't
minutes.
give bad decisions.
No, Mike Dean is top class ref.
And Wilfred Zaha on 47 minutes. Palace, I think, deserved to win. Benteke was up for Benteke.
Yeah, that's
Is this
all
actually his
that
brother, though?
matters. Yeah, apparently, yeah.
That was part of the deal.
Well,
Yeah,
Jordan,
they showed-
Jordan Lukaku came on for Belgium.
Yeah, but that's different if it's international. Like, a brother going to a club as part of a deal and getting subbed on is unique enough.
I think Newsom Dembele coming on for Newsom Dembele was good for a while.
Did that
Yes.
happen?
They're not even related.
That's very true.
But Benteke, Zaha was great. He got the assist for Benteke as well and scored. He was actually quite good, which I'd be surprised. I thought he'd be kicking up a fuss because he thought he was going to Spurs and they got Sissoko instead.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised by this result because I thought Pardiola's shocking run was going to continue, but Benteke
Well, the way
seems to be getting the
Benteke
points.
was good in this because what they did was they got the ball out wide and they knocked it into the box for him. That's all that he's good at. And if they do that for him, he'll score enough to keep them up.
There was a
That's
great-
it. Like
there-
that's the perfect team for. It's the perfect team for him.
It was a great
Really?
It was a great moment.
You know?
Someone was running into the ball there for Middlesbrough. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Friend, and he was absolutely hacked out of it. And like everywhere on Twitter was like penalty, 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 and it was like just outside the box, and they got a free kick. Like nothing came from it. They lost the game or whatever. But it's just like, oh my god, it's the closest I've ever seen.
Stoke City against Spurs. This is interesting. The first half, it was kind of tit for tat until Son scored on the 41st minute, which is really good. He doubled the lead on the 56th with, I thought it was an amazing goal. A first time strike when it was passed out to him. Ali on 59 with a really good team move. And then Harry Kane finally getting his account open on the 70th, even though it looked like he bungled it with a first touch that wasn't really needed. But after the second Son goal, Stoke looked like, in my opinion, the worst team I've seen this year in the Premier League.
They were very well. Mark Hughes got sent off, then had a bit of a Mickey fit.
And then he also got in trouble because he didn't know about the new rule about contacting the touchline via mobile phone.
What do you know? First of all, he couldn't find his way up to the stand, so then he had to go back, and then he was told to go away. He's like, I don't know how to get up there. So then he was on the phone. Then he said, "Not allowed to use that." So it was a disaster.
Has anything happened with that, or are they going to let him away with it because it's the first one?
I'd say he'll probably just play ignorance and probably get away with it. But it's 2 years in a row now. Last season in April, they beat Stoke 4-0 there as well.
Yeah, the Spurs fans were chanting, "It's happening again." It was great.
I was watching this. It was the 3:00 match on Sky, I think.
It was.
And I text a listener, a Spurs fan, and I text him going, "Spurs are awful here." You know, it's just there in the first half. Like I thought Stoke were all over them. Joe Allen running the show, and then Harry Kane tackled someone, and then Stoke tackled someone, and the free kick went Spurs' way. And Mark Hughes went absolutely mad, got sent off, started doing the old cheering, "Go on!" like to the fans, and then as Stoke were the worst team, like Shay Given starting goal, I know Butland's injured and all that sort of stuff. It was his 450th appearance or something like that.
What's going on there? Do you think? Would you think there's maybe that he's trying to integrate the kind of silky passing too much now, or the players just like, I know Stoke actually usually start poorly anyway. They didn't start well the last 2 or 3 years, but
I think Shaq's a big deal. I honestly do.
Arnautovic hasn't showed up as well yet.
Oh yeah,
like he's a decent player. They don't seem to have any goal threat, and then they're getting frustrated.
Whelan started.
Well, yeah.
That was a big issue.
And Bula hasn't really come good yet as well.
Glenn Whelan got a great shot, actually. It's one of those fantastic things where he took the shot and the commentator's like, it's like, you wouldn't know from that shot that Glenn Whelan has gone 210 appearances for club and country without a goal.
What's his last goal? The one against Italy.
I think he scored one in the Premier League more recently than that.
He must have.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, no, he's like 200 games in 6 years.
Okay, so West Ham and Watford was really interesting. Antonio scored his first goal with the assist of the season.
No, second goal.
Oh, sorry, second goal. First goal, and then second goal in the 33rd minute was Payet with a Rabona assist. And supposedly, Troy Deeney said, I want to get to this point when you're finished, or when I'm finished, excuse me. He said that it's okay to do a Rabona when you're 5-0 up in the last 10 minutes. But he said it was so disrespectful that it galvanised the team. And then after a Gallo, Troy Deeney himself got 2 back before the end of the first half. Then Capoue made it 3, and then eventually 4. And was 4-2 away after being 2-0 down. Is this something? Is this an unwritten code of conduct in football that you shouldn't do an assist with like a skill?
I saw the Troy Deeney interview on Match of the Day,
Yes.
in which he said that West Ham looked like they were having a really good time, sarcastically, and then we turn around. But I think the other thing is, it wasn't just Payet, Rabona, Lanzini tried the exact same thing like a few minutes earlier with a shot from outside the box, and it went wide, but like if it had gone in, it would have been something else. But West Ham started really well. I just don't think they're used to that big pitch yet. I think Bilic is in a bit of trouble. They were all over. Like somehow Collins is still starting at the back for them.
Yeah, like the defense, like some of the goals they gave away. I mean, Watford could have scored 6 or 7.
Yeah, a Gallows
Like,
goal.
it was
a Gallows
really,
goal
really
was
poor.
like a deflection.
Like
Of Collins.
Byron was all over the place. Yeah. Collins and Adrian, shocking. Their left back doesn't look like a player at all. There was no protection. It was, and like Watford aren't very good.
But just back to the code of conduct thing. Is that something that like people frown upon?
I personally wouldn't. Like it's like,
but
in theory, like the way he actually passed it, like it wasn't for show. I think as well.
Exactly.
I thought
so
actually
the problem?
It was the only way he could actually dig it out.
What's the problem?
I didn't say anything wrong. Now, if like there was a really thing back in the 70s when Leeds were playing Southampton, and they beat them 7-0, and I think they Southampton didn't touch the ball for about 20 minutes, and the likes of Giles, Browner, Clark and Lorimer were literally like flinging it between each other, like Southampton running after it, and Leeds were actually goading them. I mean, like they were like Giles started doing flicks over the back of his head, trying to get your man to tackle him, and then doing out
Think you can
flicks.
still do it?
Sorry,
Go on.
I'd say you could, yeah.
Okay, go
But
on.
there-
He's in retirement now. You can practice any day, but that was not nice because you're 7-0 up. You're against the best team in the league, but I didn't see anything wrong with that.
No,
Because
well-
it was a bit. It wasn't like it was so disrespectful that you've seen things on the pitch done. Like say you're running in on a goal to score 1-0, and the guy. There's no one behind him, and he goes down on his head and knocks him with his head. Like, on the line, because you're playing football on the street. Like, it wasn't like that.
No, I didn't think.
I didn't think it was too bad. But
Piss-takery.
like the thing with the case with Leeds, if you actually, I'd actually I'll YouTube it. So a 3-minute clip where they're past the ball left, right, and centre, and the commentator goes, "Poor Southampton don't even know what day it is." Leeds are having like in the piss out of them, pretty much is what he said.
Yeah.
Like that was bad because it was 7-0, but not that.
I think-
I'd have no problem with
I
that.
think because they tried it twice, they were having like a good time. They were playing well, but then like
They were cocky, but
Troy
Watford
Deeney's
took
goal was
advantage.
incredible. The commentator was weird on Match of the Day. Whoever got the 4th goal, I can't remember, but it was like
Hollybass. Was it?
Hollybass, like him of all people. It's like he scored like a lot of goals for a defender. Like just like I'm amazed.
Well, Adrian was shocking. I'd like to see Randolph in there after that performance.
Liverpool's first game in Anfield with their new stand and 8,000 people against Leicester City. Firmino opened, scoring on 30 minutes with a really, really good team goal and a really clever finish. The next goal was Mane on 31 minutes with a really good assist from Daniel Sturridge, who wasn't being his selfish self. Then Lucas, with the howler of the season so far, literally decided to assist Jamie Vardy.
Why is he? Was he the only option at centre half that day?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, incredibly. It was one of the most comedic goals in years, I think.
Yeah.
And John, did you say someone blamed Mignolet?
I listened to like
Who said
a Liverpool
That's
podcast.
just like
and,
blame Mignolet. for
Mignolet should
anything.
have known, like looked out and saw the defender closing him down, and it's clearly that Lucas slips and then tries to cut across and just toe
A
balls.
professional footballer, and his
yeah.
manager tells him to pass out from the back.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
I blame
Nonsense.
Mignolet for a lot of things, but not that.
football fans are idiots.
Lallana hit a thunder bastard on 56. That's the second time that Wijnaldum has assisted Lallana for a really good goal, you might remember. And then finally, Schmeichel ran out of the box like an absolute lunatic, and Mane went, "You're not very good at football," and I am. And he just simply took the ball around and ran, and when it looked like the chance was gone, Firmino somehow got it out of his feet and shot
I'd
into an
never
open
seen
goal.
a first touch of that for Firmino. He stopped the ball, and there was 3 Lazarettes flying in, and he just went dink. He literally side-footed it in, and it was like when he in Father Ted in the over 70s match.
It was, yeah.
It was actually the ball was rolling in, and they still couldn't get it.
I
He was the
I didn't
calmest
know.
man.
Yeah, he was too calm.
I think they've been your 3 best players. 3 you just mentioned this year: Mane, Lallana, and Firmino.
Yeah.
I think Lallana's really coming on good. Like I said, I always liked him because the direct approach he has is perfect for Klopp. I remember we were in the Orchard one day and we were like, give me your starting 11 for Liverpool. And I said, I always play Lallana because the direct play has the quick counter-attack, the pressing, the hard work rate. Like, he probably runs more than anyone near the other team. Maybe bar James Milner.
Funnily enough, you mentioned that. He ran more than any player in the league this week. Does anybody want to guess how many K he ran in that game?
I'd say 13.
It's exactly 13.
Well, there you go.
So
But that's what Klopp wants. But that's what Klopp wants to do that. And I think you have to embody, like, you know, Barcelona, for example, through the days, like, they're not going to drop Xavi for Fellaini.
Yeah.
You know, that you play to what your style is.
Sure.
And that's what Lallana, I think Lallana is.
I don't think
embodies it
anybody
perfect.
is dropping Xavi for Fellaini, but
Well,
point
you
taken.
know what I'm just saying? Van Hal would have.
Really?
I don't know.
Right.
Remember that thing last year where you put all the players in the wrong position?
Yeah.
And we had that graphic.
It was incredible. John, Leicester.
I think they're struggling. Like, maybe they were taking it easy for Champions League, but I thought they were awful. Like, they're
I think
not the team
we all
they were.
predicted. Was I 10th or 11th? I think they'd be lucky to finish there. I think they might have a scrap on their hands this year.
Jamie-
Without Kante in there, Vardy.
It's
Because
amazing
people
how
are
much
working them
difference
out
it
now.
is.
Vardy doesn't have the space in behind.
Doesn't have his cast either.
Where is it?
Took it off.
Oh, really? Well, maybe away. Mahrez, to be honest, he doesn't look really interested, to be honest. And Huth and Morgan, I like Huth, but Morgan maybe is, people are seeing him as like, this guy was a journeyman for his whole career. So
I thought it was
I think they're just kind of been found out for the team they are. Like, they're not great. Like,
I thought it was gas,
You know?
the Firmino goal, because against Spurs, Vorm had did the exact thing Schmeichel done like 3 times,
Form is brilliant.
and like
in that
God
match,
got
yeah.
him, and then like Schmeichel tries it once, and Mane was like, no, I'll just.
Well, the match was done.
I just think
but, you know.
like man of the match was. Well, he was great. Was Henderson, because he was like, he set up. He gave the pass to Mane that got him past Schmeichel, and he also set up. He also gave the ball to Sturridge, who gave the back.
It was
Mane.
definitely a
Where's
better
Emre
game.
Can?
Still not
he's
fully fit.
but I don't think he's getting in the team.
Is that from the Euros or?
And an injury after the Euros.
Oh, he has an injury. Okay,
But
alright.
he's not getting in the team at the minute.
You don't really miss him at the moment. The way you're playing, you're doing fine. But you will play.
Speaking
a
of
part.
getting in the team, though, your 4 attackers, right?
Yes.
Lallana, Mane, Firmino, Coutinho, Sturridge. Who drops for you? Who's the ideal?
Sturridge.
You
For
fools.
tomorrow, I'd
You
definitely play
fools.
Firmino. In fact, I'd nearly drop Coutinho. I think he's been. I know he had that blitz against Arsenal, but he's been pretty poor.
I'd start the exact same fucking team minus Lucas.
Like Coutinho, like as the goals against Arsenal were great. You know, he probably should have had a hat trick or whatever that day. But like, I think his overall game's been poor. What do you think, John?
I'd probably agree with you. I'm
Like
looking.
Burnley, all I remember was Burnley is him taking stupid
Yeah,
shots.
he was awful against
from
he was,
30
that's what
yards
I was
out.
saying, right. He was fantastic against
Impatient,
Arsenal. He was
not-
fantastic
not
against
looking
Brazil.
up the right pass.
No, there's
you know?
inconsistencies, but he was amazing against or with Brazil last week. And
That's the thing. I'm always like him. He's always that kind of B player, and he'll never be more than that until he gets that kind of like.
you should have seen him against Uruguay. It was stunning.
I didn't see it.
It's incredible.
Was he playing number 10?
Yes.
Or was he actually no? Well, Neymar is 10. But
No, he wasn't. Yes, he was playing number 10. Speaking of Chelsea, Swansea City against Chelsea. It was a really fun game. Costa up to his old tricks. Sigurdsson on 58 minutes with a penalty made a 1-1 after Diego Costa in the 18th minute. Leroy Fer on 62 minutes to bring Swansea from behind to 2-1. And then Costa on the 81st minute.
Chelsea were great.
Yeah,
They were really.
elements were there.
I watched the full thing, and Neil Taylor lost the rag at John's favorite manager in the league. That he was taken off before half time, but like it was just one of those games for like Chelsea that they blew, but Costa was really really good. Did you see it?
I did see it. I don't know if they blew it more than the ref screwed them out of it. There's no way that second goal for Swansea should have stood the Fer goal.
Oh
It's
yeah,
an
well,
absolute.
what do you
foul
think
on
of Gary Cahill? I thought that was really, really weird of him, and everyone's like, "Oh, he was a great guy to come out and talk about that." I'm like, hold on a minute, right?
Yeah.
He had a bad touch, first of all.
Yeah.
He had a bad touch, and the first thing he went on Twitter was keep showing that he was fouled,
Yeah.
and then he went and had a big rant on TV. And I know he wasn't blaming the ref, or he's just saying that's wrong.
Yeah.
It's a fucking football match. Like, you can't come out. Like, he was pretty much blaming against the shortfalls there. He had a bad touch, and he wasn't great in the ball.
I think
That's
there's-
my view. I thought.
I think there's
all
a
the BBC
reason
were
why,
licking his arse and everything. If you have that, then every single bad mistake in a match, which happens a hell of a lot.
That's just what the English press do with their defenders, though. They're like, "Oh, fair play to him for coming out saying he made a mistake." I do think it was a foul. Now his touch was bad.
It was a foul, but it wasn't.
Oh, sorry, this Cahill thing.
Yeah,
it was 2 fouls.
Yeah,
it was 2 fouls.
No, but
ridiculous.
No, but I'm just saying he came out after the game. The first thing he did was tweet it, the video. Then he had a massive interview then with every fucking BBC.
Which was excellent.
I didn't.
It was excellent. It was great passion, and he was right to say it, and he was true. Do you know what he did? He did something that nobody is able to do in this day and age. He was able to articulately express his opinion, make you believe he was true, and not put himself at risk of getting a fine from the FA.
Would he have done that then if
everyone else who criticizes a referee would have gotten fined? But the way he did it was really classy, and he's right to say that.
Well, managers come out and say that was a foul, but like you can.
Yeah, but they don't go on a 10-minute rant the way he did, but keep composed.
Look, I personally just
you were saying
thought it was well over the top.
If Fur missed, would you say?
He was well over it. Yeah, he wouldn't have.
But it wouldn't have mattered if he missed. The point is, he was fouled, and a goal-scoring opportunity turned into a goal, and a goal-scoring opportunity that should have never happened. So of course you're going to talk about it. It's like if you.
Yeah, but it's.
Okay, then if you swerve, if you have a little swerve on the way home from work, yeah, are you going to go in? You're going to tell everybody you do a 10-minute rant on it, or if some car hits you on the way home from work, are you going to go in and tell everyone about it?
Do both.
Yeah, but one is more severe than the other. Is the point?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think that it's. I didn't see like I understand where you're saying coming from, but like it was just like
I thought it was great.
Okay, just calm down a bit. Like it's a fucking bad mistake of a referee. He made a mistake. Mistakes happen in every game of every match, and if you're going to go by that, you're going to scrutinize every referee mistake. Then I just didn't. I know he's
double foul though, not a single foul, double foul.
Look, if that's the way it's going to go, then the ref did this, and I'll talk to the camera for 10 minutes and tweet all over it and everything.
It was a double foul.
Except he actually had a really bad touch. That's what happened at the start.
It should have never happened.
It shouldn't have happened, but
that's the point.
Yeah, but it's
He's
football.
fine to make that point.
It's football. Mistakes happen. Get over it.
It's usually not one foul though. It's usually one foul. I would get over it more if it was one foul.
I think it was just one of those things. Just get on.
We'll agree to disagree. Sunderland and Everton. I didn't see any of this, but obviously Everton were really, really good.
I think it was more Sunderland's defense.
Sunderland
really,
were
really bad.
Did Lukaku play?
He didn't have to.
Okay, he's back though.
His first two goals were free headers. Like I was similar to you. I didn't see it. I only saw the highlights. But I was like,
a joke.
And I was like,
I'm still the only one to watch every game.
That's true. Well,
I'm sure you didn't watch every game. I'm sure Match of the Day was a bit of an assistance.
Made sure I watched the West Brom.
Well, we know you're a big fan. But in terms of Match of the Day, Chris Sutton has been making a lot of headlines as he's the Simon Cowell of punditry.
Did you hear him on
It's not even that. He's the Ollie Williams. You know that from Family Guy. It's like, how's the weather out there, Ollie? It's going to rain. Thanks, Ollie. Like, that's who's going to win. It's not like a Rangers.
Did you see him like last week for Rangers and Celtic?
Yeah.
I was like, so who's going to win? Celtic are going to go in. Why? Because Rangers' defence is terrible. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. On Match of the Day, he was great, by the way.
I don't know if I could take him on TV every week.
But he was like challenging. I forget that presenter's name. But he would challenge him about
Mark Chapman.
Yeah, he'd challenge him about his questions. He's like, "Is that a serious question?" And like he couldn't deal with them.
Well, that was rude, to be honest.
Well,
no, I love
was that
it.
like the David Ginola thing?
Former Premier League winner, huh?
Remember that a few years ago? On,
was
David Ginola was on Match of the Day too, and because they've nothing to talk about Match of the Day too, they're like, Ginola, you're like a wine expert now. And he's like, yeah. So they got him like 3 bottles of wine, like Tesco brand, like a really expensive one, and then middle. And then he goes, oh, this is the best one. And he's like, this is actually the Tesco brand. And he went absolutely nuts. He was like, show me the bottle. Show me the bottle. Just like, it's like,
that's embarrassing. You can't do that to Ginola.
He's going to do the hair shampoo ad and try to be FIFA president.
So before we get to the Champions League, we have a new UEFA president.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
So he is saying that the big 4 leagues are going to get 4 mandatory spaces. Is that it?
Look, I don't know. Like,
people are unhappy, but I don't know why.
Like, well, the Premier League. That's good news for the Premier League because they're dying at the moment. The way they're going, like Spain and Germany are way ahead of them. And I think is it Italy or France? Probably Italy has to be.
Italy, France, aren't they?
So it has to be Italy. Not far behind them.
In terms of what?
For the 4, because there's only 3 leagues. You get 4 spots.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yes. So how's it? Yes.
So then they'd lose the spot.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that it'd be, as Hoagie says, it's good for the coefficient.
Okay, so
before we
go
went
ahead.
to the Champions League, I just had to ask Dan something. Dan, a random bloke in the pub told me that Cork City were absolutely incredible against Shamrock Rovers and beat them 5-0.
Well, yeah, they hammered them, yeah, but
But like, there was a lad who should be breaking into the Ireland squad. So I don't know.
Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. There's Cork have a really good team. Rovers played 3 at the back. They got caught out. The average age of the team that was about 22.
Great bunch of lads.
It was
Love a
just,
night out.
It was just one of those. Just didn't work. And ironically, they're playing them tomorrow and Turner's Cross in the league, so this will be fun.
And Barcelona lost.
They did
It's like
2-1.
it was to a reasonably other team, wasn't it? Or
Yeah. No, they're Alaves actually, they've drawn to Atletico Madrid already this year. They're actually doing pretty well. But I think Barcelona had the greatest bench of all time.
Oh, this one Barcelona played nobody. Yeah.
Well, they lost, but
No, what I mean
They
is they
lost
didn't
to
play any of the big lads.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so interesting that is.
Okay, so Champions League match day 1. Bayern Munich defeated FC Rostov 5-0. Barcelona and Celtic. It was quite incredible,
I
wasn't
predicted 8. I was pretty close.
it? It was Messi with a hat-trick, Suarez with 2.
Poor Colo didn't know what to do.
No.
When he blasted the ball at his own post.
Colo wanted 8.
That was the funniest thing. He hit it as hard as he could to clear his lines, and it went smack into the post.
Brendan's getting a lot of stick for being Brendan after the match and saying he'll take the positives from the game. When does a manager have to come out and just say, it wasn't good enough, we're sorry?
Did Dembele
I
miss
don't even like. I think like people saying that it was an embarrassment. Like Celtic are awful. They are absolutely terrible. Dundalk tonight got a draw out in Holland with 10 men in their first ever European game. They are a better team than Celtic.
Well,
I've been saying that for 2 years. They are a better team than fucking Celtic.
Dan,
right?
if Dundalk show up to that massive pitch against the 3 greatest forwards in football at the minute,
I'm not saying they wouldn't have lost 6 or 7-0. They probably
No, they would have, but
I'm just
that's
saying
also-
that Celtic are not a good team. Celtic
Well, I know,
are
but-
so poor that the standard now between them and Barcelona, or even any team, like if they've won the Premier League, they'd be bottom of the Premier League.
not according to a Scottish guy in Football Week. I think they're better than Burnley. I think they'd finish 10th.
They
would
They're
not.
better than
Celtic
one
would
team,
finish,
so they'll finish
Celtic would be
90
lucky
places
if they
ahead.
finish 18th in the Premier League. The team they have.
Their
And
problem.
if they were in the Premier League, the standard difference of any big team, it is by 7 or 8 goals. I'm sorry, I don't think they have anything to apologise for. They're just terrible.
Did Dembele miss at 1-0?
They
or
missed
2-0?
it. It was 2-0 and he missed a penalty.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually weren't close. I was like, look, they're against the 3 best players in the world, pretty much. So like, just
I think
I wouldn't. I'm slaughtering them in terms of that they got hammered, but I'm not surprised. I don't think anyone should be, and just get on with it. And the Celtic fans are pigs.
Yeah, the problem with
That's what they did last week.
the
They're
problem-
Oh,
just
we never
really
talked
bad.
about the West Ham fans fighting amongst themselves.
Oh yeah, do you know what the
Yeah.
story behind that is?
No.
In the old Boylan Ground or Uptown Funk or
Bowling ground.
or the
The Upton Funk.
Cave of Funk or Uptown Park or whatever they were called. They had the Bobby Moore stand, and the rules for the Bobby Moore stand was you had to stand. Basically, you weren't allowed to sit down for the entire
So if it's a
match.
Bobby Moore seat, you have to sit down.
Yeah, if it was called the Bobby Moore seat
Okay.
stand, you'd have to. But
Okay,
anyway,
great.
so the West Ham fans are bringing that to the new stadium. But of course, because it's so cheap, everyone's going. As you could see if you watch Match of the Day, there was a boy there in an Arsenal jersey. Dad
Really?
couldn't
Oh,
afford the
God.
Emirates, so took him to the West Ham's. Like, you won't tell the difference. But so apparently, like, there's people wanting to sit down but couldn't see, so we're telling the lads in front to sit down, and that's what.
Payet
caused the
scores a
massive-
goal. There's Giroud.
Yeah. Who scored that? Oh, it
Which
was-
one? Giroud.
That was Iwobi with the goal. Yeah, so that's what started the all fights with the West Ham. But, back
classic.
to Celtic. Brennan's thing is he can't defend. So where most
Himself.
yeah,
But he can defend the team.
He couldn't do it a player, and he
Can he
put
defend
got colour
himself
to her.
more or make his team defend?
He shows-
Doesn't matter.
he shows great
defend-
character.
He can defend the team in the post-match interview. It's incredible.
Yeah,
The man is a marvel.
I love him.
I do love him. Atletico Madrid scraped by Eindhoven at home, which was not good for them.
No, they're away.
Oh, they were away. Sorry, I'm looking at all cattywampus here.
That's actually a good result
That is
because
a good
last
result.
year Atletico only knocked them out in penalties in the last 16 last year.
Napoli.
It was that penalty that went to 10-9
Yes.
and no one missed a penalty and they were top class penalties.
That's
So,
right.
so.
Napoli and their new star man Callejon filling in the role of Higuain.
Who's up front for them now?
Callejon.
No, they've got someone else now, haven't they?
He's
Callejon, is
playing.
it?
He's playing in the middle.
Oh, have they? Is he actually playing middle?
Yes.
So it's really him and Hamsik. That team from, was it 2012, was a really good team.
Yes.
And it's just completely gone.
Barami, Inler, Hamsik, Dina, Calihan, Higuain. No, that was
wasn't
the
it?
team
It was
before.
Cavani.
That was the team
Cavani was
before
there.
Rafa. Oh,
Cavani
yeah,
and Lavezzi. And Paolo Cannavaro at the back.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
And our goalkeeper was... Who was?
Fraser Forster.
No.
No.
But they had a really good team like 4 years ago. It's kind of sad the way they've gone. Pandev.
Pandev.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Oh,
Remember him?
Pandev. He was, yeah.
He was a good LA.
Was he Serb, wasn't he?
Macedonian, I think.
Oh yeah, he played for
Champions
a few.
League winner.
He played for a few Italian teams. Yeah, he was at the Inter team.
Yeah, he was Inter, Fiorentina, Napoli.
All those lads.
Yeah, all the guys, yeah.
Besiktas and Benfica drew 1-1. The Man City match was postponed till the next night. And Arsenal scraped by PSG. PSG had about 9 or 10 chances. 6 of them fell to Cavani. He converted 1.
Do you remember the one where he
they
fell
played
on his
Tweed.
arse?
Yes, I do. They played
That was the
Tweed.
exact same goal Suarez scored.
Suarez actually scored it. Yeah, yeah.
The exact same thing, except Cavani fell on his arse.
That was
And Neil, are you finding certain to me think that me and John were going to say to you now that Cavani is really just... I think he's not really good anymore.
Well, that was the
And it's
worst
kinda
I've ever
sad.
seen. It was the worst
He kind
I've
of
ever
never
seen.
got a role at the top.
But the thing is, again, if you play 3 seasons out of position, I can understand why it would affect you when you get back.
But it's just his finishing and stuff. Like, it's really not been up to scratch. Like, a lot of it. Like, it's...
He didn't get
he
the
missed
chance.
basic chances. Well, Ospina...
No, not in this game. I mean,
No,
up to now.
I've seen enough of him, and he's missing. He's kind of snatching a lot of things. Like I remember last year, was Zlatan injured for a game last year, and Cavani went up front, or Zlatan got sent off or something, and Cavani went up front, and I was like, that's fine. If Cavani up front, they'll have Lucas one side and Di Maria the other, or something like that.
Yes.
And I was just really,
Well-
PSG aren't really half the team they were. Unai Emery, I think next year could build a really good team, but this year they've taken a step back.
You know, I just think that when you don't play centre forward for 3 years, it can have an effect on you, especially when you're supposed to be in your prime years as a striker in your late 20s.
I'm surprised he's still starting for them because
There's no one else.
I know, but they are they running out of money? Like they let Eber go, they didn't seem to bring in anyone. They got your man from Real
Well,
Madrid.
they bought Jesse and they bought Krikiovac in. Who did they buy centre half? They didn't replace David Luiz, did they?
No,
because
It's kind of weird. Like maybe Verratti's injured a lot.
they can play Motta there.
Motta's getting he's 35 now. I'd
Yeah.
say.
Well, Verratti
they've
was
a new
only injured at the end of
goalkeeper.
last year.
They've
Verratti will have a
they've
huge
dodgy,
season.
They've a dodgy right back. They're really. I
Playing
suppose Marquinhos can come in. He's very good.
Well, he played the weekend, or he played against Arsenal. But Matuidi playing on the wing is outrageous.
It was I don't know. I think they're not sure what their team is yet.
I thought Arsenal would win that match actually because PSG have started really slowly this season. They've already lost to Monaco. And
Arsenal
they're
have started brilliantly, have they?
Talk about the red card to Giroud. It was
I
insane.
don't understand it.
I
It doesn't make
I
sense.
still haven't. understood where
Verratti
it's-
pushed Giroud,
It's incredible.
and he knocked over Motta or something.
Yes,
and then
he-
Giroud
yes.
turned around and he got a red.
Okay,
No,
second,
it was a second yellow. They both got second yellows, but
no,
Giroud was second yellow.
Giroud straight red.
Maybe he gave a straight red, but he was actually early in yellow.
Okay, it was a straight red though.
But it was shocked. I hope they can get both of those guys. Just
Speaking of Monaco, Dan told me that Spurs were in a really easy league, and I said Monaco could give them a game, and Dan said, nah, Monaco. Monaco went to Olympic Stadium.
Falcao back
to
to his
Wembley.
best.
Yeah, well, no, he was shy. But,
Like I said,
so they won with 10 men.
Monaco went to Wembley. The Wembley curse continues. Spurs just don't work there,
But
it
like,
seems.
it's a nice day out for the Spurs
But
fans.
remember I
though,
said to
Wim.
you about
Yeah, a big long trip.
17 years ago, Arsenal played all their games. I think it was 99, 2000 or something. They played all their home games in the Champions League that year in Wembley, and it was a disaster.
What is it about Wembley, huh?
It's a
bigger
it's a
revenue.
massive, horrible pitch.
It's a gigantic
It was the
pitch.
biggest. It was the highest amount of supporters ever to a British team in the Champions League. It was 88,000.
There's 88,000 Arsenal
Yeah,
fans.
and the
In London.
Etihad or the
Spurs
Empty had about 30,000 for their match.
Yeah, Pep.
What
said-
is wrong with that city?
Pep was saying they
Fan
still
base.
boo the Champions League anthem. Like.
Why?
It's like, can you just give your place to Liverpool?
Yeah.
I'd love to be.
There's something strange about the. We mentioned it earlier about he really just played all these attackers. There was no real midfield.
They need to get that Moussa Dembele man back in the pitch. Which one? I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. But they need to get him in.
Belgian losing about.
I think Spurs will be in a bit of trouble. I think Pochettino will have that sort of, managers have when they've never managed in the Champions League before. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do here.
A huge result for Monaco.
Well, like the way I said about the group, there's no awful team, but there's no great team as well. So they should be fine in that group, if that makes sense. You know,
They
Those are the
should.
Leicester's group.
I still want to say though I called it. Madrid left it late against Sporting.
very, very late.
Poor. Did you see Ronaldo? Like he scored the equaliser, and then he was devastated because like Sporting are his boyhood club, so he just kind of went.
Oh yeah,
He's just like, oh,
pretty good free kick.
he's class.
That's his one for the season done.
That's it.
Check it off the list.
That'll get the Ballon d'Or for him.
Juve hosted the Europa League champions, and 0-0. They played a really weird team. They're trying to incorporate
Where was the Beast playing?
centre mid,
Yeah,
and they're trying to incorporate 2 wing backs.
Yeah.
With 3 in the back.
with the 3 lads at the back.
It's not working. Like Pjanic didn't start.
It was Khedira and
Some other lad that I actually don't know very well. Like there was no Montalivo, there was no Pjanic.
well,
It's
Montalivo plays for Milan, so he wouldn't.
Sorry,
be there.
excuse me, there was no Marquisio, there was no Pjanic,
And then it was Dybala and Higuain.
Dybala and Higuain is front 2. It wasn't good.
It was weird.
Back to
like,
basics.
I still think Juve could be dark horses along with Dortmund this year.
Oh yeah,
I
a
don't
lot would
think
have
so.
to change for Juve. It's been weird. Leicester beat Bruges. We talked about that.
Bruges are the worst team I've ever seen in Champions League.
Bruges are
Mahrez
pretty
got a
terrible.
nice free kick.
Dortmund were sensational against Liga Warsaw, 6-0.
Warsaw fans did an incredible thing where they had like the makeup of a suit and tie, where where they do the draw, but instead of the name it just said "Guess Who's Back." But then their fans were all like anti-Semitic and racist, and so fuck them. But go Dortmund,
Fuck them indeed.
and they're not dark horses. Dan's insane.
What do you mean?
Dortmund aren't dark horses now. Dortmund.
They'll Europa League.
Man City and Mönchengladbach, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
That could have been
Hat trick
8-0.
was it for
Could have been
Aguero?
8-0.
No, it wasn't hat trick for
It was.
Aguero. Oh, it was a hat
Could
trick.
have been 8-0. They literally just walked through them. City looked good.
Aguero's good in the Champions League when he doesn't have to play in the Premier League.
Yeah. Pretty much all we can talk about from that. Okay, before we get to fantasy then, let's do some awards. Hero of the week. Actually, we'll start with goal of the week. Let's keep it football. Goal of the week.
I like Troy Deeney's. I like anytime you see a chip in a just that chip into the corner, just over the keeper and defender. I just think it looks class. I do think Suarez's goal against Celtic would have been given more credit if it
They could have
wasn't
taken
against.
any of those Barcelona goals.
Yeah, if it wasn't against Celtic.
I thought Stefan Defore's goal was great. I thought he.
I feel like the keeper should have done better.
I just thought his first touch, he
Yeah.
picked it out, bang. It's like a Snodgrass goal, Koscielny's overhead kick. Somebody goes Champions League. Henri Lansbury's goal for Nottingham Forest the weekend was outstanding.
Did Lord Bentner start?
Lord Bentner, I was going to get on to him actually. He came on there against Aston Villa there the other day, and he had a header. No, it wasn't Aston Villa, it was Tuesday night. Whoever first played, I can't remember. And he came on, he had a header from 4 yards out, and then he hit the post, and he should have scored. Very sad.
Very sad. Okay, my goal of the week. I know I really liked the Suarez one. I really liked Lallana's one. I really liked Son's one.
Really good week, wasn't
It was an incredible week for goals.
And Higuain's got a very good
I
one as
really,
well.
really liked De Bruyne's one as well. I can't really pick one. Okay, spoofer of the week.
GameStop for telling me Pro wasn't out until November.
Incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going long here, even though we're trying to rush the show, because the sequel to the greatest football game ever made is in our hands now, and only one of us has played it. But
Michael
not
Owen
ourselves.
Soccer School.
Pro Evo 2016.
This is
so
football with John O'Shea.
Second.
yeah, so we're on our way to do that. Anyway, yeah, so that's a very fair.
Well,
spoof
actually,
of the week.
well, in theory, those guys, but the what fans were it? The West Ham fans fighting.
Celtic fans were worse.
Celtic fans were worse.
Lot of bad days for fans, but then obviously those good fans from Holland were very nice. Can you imagine those fans from Holland? I'm sure everyone has heard it, and I'm sure that's everyone's heroes of the week. Can you imagine if that was West Ham or Millwall fans? They'd be probably throwing used condoms and bottles of beer down.
Well, that's the thing
No,
about
teddies with syringes sticking out of them.
Possibly.
Well, isn't that the
knives
thing
in
in England?
Knives, and they take off the head and there's a knife underneath. I'd say it's one of those ones.
They never put in England and Scotland. They never put the away fans on top of the home fans, because in Scotland they used to always get like pissed on. So yeah, so not quite teddies,
Classy.
but yeah, the teddies thing was a class act. Rangers, Rangers, and Celtic fans are just absolute scum. Like.
Yeah, and I hate the way like they're just, we get sectarian abuse every week. So mock
It's also half and half because half the Celtic fans don't believe that this Rangers team is the real Rangers, and then the other half are like,
oh, look,
burn them.
They're all fucking Egypts up there, and they all should fucking be put in a black sack and hit with sticks.
It's a
John?
big black sack.
It's a very big black sack.
Yeah.
John, your spoofer of the week? Same.
Probably, yeah.
My spoofer of the week is Steve Gerrard. LA Galaxy have a video they put up every week called Wacky Football Challenges. And this week it was Steve Gerrard and Robbie Keane on a 3/4 size pitch against 30 10-year-olds. Right?
We've never done that ever, John.
This is the greatest video you'll ever see. This is the greatest video you'll ever see. From tip off, Gerrard tries to sneaky out chip to Robbie. Doesn't quite work out. Robbie knocks over about 5 of them to get the ball back. Gerrard's pace is severely tested against these 10-year-olds.
Who's faster, Robbie or Gerrard?
Robbie. And Robbie then crossfield ball to Gerrard. He does an athletic finish, gets it past the goalkeeper who's literally like a 16th the size of the goal, and puts a shirt over his head and celebrates fully. So absolute spoofer. Then, but in all fairness to Gerrard, he let one of the little girls get a goal back.
He let.
Oh, he did. Yeah. No,
He was only struggling to chase back.
He didn't slip it.
yeah, he
again,
definitely
did
meant to slip this time.
Keen
So,
to Robbie.
yeah. So that's my spoofer.
Have you seen that? Like, someone did an interview with him. It's like, do you think you'll be getting a coaching offer from Liverpool?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I haven't heard or got offered anything, but I have a good relationship with Klopp. It's like, you're not getting in there.
He was asked by the kid as well in the interview who are the 3 best players in the world. He goes, Messi, Ronaldo, and Robbie Keane.
And Robbie Keane.
They're literally best friends now, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah.
They watch every single Premier League game together.
Like, I'd say if Gerrard tried, I don't think Robbie tries, but, I think if either of them tried, they'd rip up that league if they still wanted to. Like,
I think Robbie Keane
shocking,
is trying.
It's a shocking league, like.
I think Gerrard's too slow.
So our hero of the week are the Teddy Bears
Yeah, I
in
think so.
Deutschland. Okay.
Not
that's
the
fair enough.
Millwall Teddy Bears.
All right. Finally, fantasy football time.
Bad Teddy Bears.
Tommy's in last place. Reg Harrison is in 16th. Rob Normal in 15th. Dave Rogers in 14th. I'm in 13th. James Byrne in 12th. Shane Lahart in 11th. Dan in 10th.
I'm pulling away from you already.
Yeah, 10 points ahead of me. Let's see. Becky in 9th. Darren Hillard in
that?
8th. Don't know. Ronan O'Reilly in 7th. Regis Kerr in 6th. But thank you very much, Becky, for listening, if you do.
Becky Lynch. Could be.
It's not.
Doubt it. Dave Nolte in 5th. Noel Keeley in 4th. Jesus. John Carroll in 3rd.
What?
John is in a Champions League spot.
Oh,
He's never been there.
Guaranteed Champions League.
He's Leicester.
can you put like
He's Leicester, but he's written to
can you
relegate
put like
him.
the Breakfast Club music when you say my name there? I just want to remember. I'm taking a screenshot.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. This is what happens when I don't put a Liverpool player in my team at the start of the season.
Kevin Murphy. Yeah, you take away the sentimental to Gerrard, captain. Kenny Murphy in 2nd and Stephen Vincent with a 13-point lead in 1st place, which is pretty nice at this time already.
Steve,
So,
you never stay at top for long.
in fact,
Take a point from me.
interestingly
you never end up
enough, his 13-point lead is a bigger lead than any other places beside each other in the table at the moment, which is incredible. So fair play, Stephen. And that's all from us. Anything else, guys, before we play this wonderful game, the
there.
sequel to the Graceful
Go
Time?
by pro.
Go by pro.
We'll talk about it
Oh
properly
yeah,
next week.
I do want to say this. The first year we did the show, right? It was when I had just got you guys back on the pro train.
Yeah.
And we were a little ahead of the curve because 2015 was excellent.
Yeah.
2016 was the greatest football game of all time, but 2015 was excellent. You guys had come back on. But people still said to me, one of the first things they said when they talked to me about the show was, you guys all play pro. FIFA. And now it's been accepted that we were not only ahead of the curve, but it is
We're spreading the goodwill.
the definitive winner. So anybody who gave me slack for plugging Pro 2015 in the first season of this show, fuck you. And you can get us on
Thanks for
ITK.
listening, though.
Sorry,
I just want to say one thing. Messi did an interview there, and there's just a few funny things. He said that like he came home after losing the Copa America and just wanted a makeover, so that's why he did his hair the way he did. His
he
word.
thought. Okay.
And then another thing, the interview being
Also, that's why he retired, and
Why
so they
did
couldn't
Neymar then
find
do
him.
his hair? Does it mean he'd be like him?
exactly.
Same
Suarez going to do it next week now.
No, Moreno did it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Miranda. And then, but the interviewer being nice gave a gift to Messi, and it was like a tiny football, and he was like, "Here, you can give this to your son." Like, and this is the son that's like
already signed with Barca,
grandfather.
hasn't he?
Grandfather is Maradona, and Godfather's Aguero, so like decent sort of thing. But yes, he turns around and goes, yeah, he doesn't like football.
Wait, his grandfather's Maradona?
No.
I'm thinking of Aguero,
No,
sorry.
you're thinking of Aguero.
Yes.
So,
But
but still, yeah,
Point
yeah.
Messi's godfather.
His son hates football.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there won't be any young Messi's.
Not yet. All right, guys. Thanks very much for listening. You get us on Facebook.com/ITK Soccer Show, the ITK Soccer Show on Twitter, and at ITK Soccer Show. Sorry, I fucked that up. At ITK Soccer Show on Twitter, the ITK Soccer Show on YouTube, where you'll get all the recent videos and up-to-date stuff. We'll be back probably midweek next week to talk all the news in the Premier League and results finally from today's Europa League action. Until then, spread the word. We do the show once a week if we can, and completely free. So anybody who listens, we greatly appreciate it.
Would anyone pay?